Hello guys, welcome back to another chess video. This is Amit here, and today I'll be giving out the solution of the puzzle which I had given yesterday. Consider the above position wherein the black king has just two knights, but white has all his pieces at his disposal. White pawn moves upwards this way, so and black is actually down to two knights, and this is not a part of the game actually, but it is just a position puzzle solved by masters. And in this position you can see that the rook is indirectly guarding the pawn on the e5, and knight is will actually cover a lot of squares at the center, and bishop is guarding the e5 pawn. So, and here you can see that black king has two squares to go to. One is to c5, and once if bishop moves here, then king simply takes the pawn. That is the second move. And here black is actually has knights are considered best defensive pieces in the position. So, and queen is indirectly guarding the pawn, and he can even give check on this square if king is here. So the position is quite a bit interesting, because now here the knight on the g5 can actually move. He can move here. One of the candidate move with that in order to cover this c5 and the dc square. But what will happen if knight takes the pawn? If knight takes the pawn, still you can give check, but it is not a mate in two, because knight comes in the middle and you take the knight, and king comes to d4, and it's not going to be a mate in two. So knight to e4 is not actually the move. The main move which you should keep in mind is the move bishop to e3. Here we may think that king is sacrificing, white is sacrificing a pawn, but actually it is not so. You can see that if king takes the pawn, the knight moves to e4, and it's a check. King cannot take here, knight cannot move here because queen is pinning the knight, and this knight is covering these two important squares, escape squares, and the rook is giving check. So it's a mate in two. But if bishop e3 is played, king has one escape square, as I told you before. If king moves there, then queen to a5 is a mate, because knight cannot take this queen, and king has nowhere to go, here, here, or here. So it's a checkmate. Now if you see this, you can see that knight can actually take this pawn, but if knight takes the pawn, queen takes the knight, and king has nowhere to go. So knight cannot actually take this pawn. He cannot even move this knight because of the check and mate. So it's quite possible that you may think of knight's move here. But if knight moves to d6, then there is a direct mate, because bishop takes the knight, and it's a checkmate, because this pawn is already guarded and he cannot come here or here or here. So taking the pawn is not that advisable. Now if knight moves here, then simply a pawn push, and it's a mate. So knight move is also not feasible, and also if knight comes here, then again the pawn moves to e7, and it's a checkmate. Because of the queen, the pawn on the e5 is actually guarded, so it's a checkmate. And other move is if king takes the pawn, as I showed you before, knight here, and it's a mate. And I think I have covered almost all the variations in this setup. And even if king moves here, then queen gives check on the a5, and it's a checkmate. So I hope you like this video, and today I'll be giving out another puzzle. If you get to solve it, please respond with your valuable comments. Thank you all.